Great. Oh, please, let the kids stay. It's so much nicer. Okay, Secretary Burgeon. That was fun. We haven't done any awards in a while, so that was nice to do. Secretary Burgeon, thank you.
Opening a meeting to electors or taxpayers who wish to be heard on any subject within the jurisdiction of the Board of Directors.
Okay, I believe, Mr. McNamara, are you online?
Yeah, I'm online.
All right, you're up. Name, address, and ready to go.
What do I got for time tonight?
You got 5 minutes, Mr. McNamara.
Let me set my timer because I have a hard time keeping track.
I got one here if you want to see
Here
it.
we go. Colin McNamara, 47 Grandview Street.
Okay, we're starting it right now. Go for it.
All right. Yeah, congratulations to those kids. That's great. And a lot of politicians like hiding behind kids. It's like it's a thing. But I'm glad they won and did their best. I just want to thank you guys for rejecting my nomination to the Advisory Board of Health. Ever since you did, I've had so much less stress. And I want to send a special thank you to Mike Pohl for spreading some vicious rumors around town that are completely unfounded and untrue. I tried to call him to talk about it, but he didn't pick up his phone and return my message, which is unfortunate. But keep up the good work, Mike. I want to talk about how Manchester is continuing to punch above its weight class, as Governor Lamont would say. And that's in relation to this new article that came out where it said the sales of nips in Manchester are comparable to both Bridgeport and Hartford. So in 5 months, we've consumed almost 1 million nips in town. And the legislator decided to create a new law that charges 5 cents for every one of these bottles. Now, me and my kids were planning on making a mint, going around town collecting these off the side of the road where these drunks throw them everywhere. But joke's on me because it looks like the town is actually going to get the $50,000 check. So even though the consumer is paying the 5 cents when he buys the product, he can't return it for 5 cents. This falls under the taxation without representation category. Speaking of taxation, here we have Daniel Hunt. It's backwards, but Daniel Hunt went down to the town hall on September 2nd of 2020 trying to pay his property tax bill unmuzzled. And unfortunately, town employees got into interaction with him where they tackled him to the ground and dislocated his shoulder. I'm just curious, this is a lawsuit that's currently pending. I'm wondering, is this going to be able to be paid out by the American Rescue Plan funding, or the Manchester taxpayer is going to have to foot the bill, which will probably be 6 figures for the fact that town employees can't keep their hands themselves. But what's really weird is if you go on the Manchester Police Department Facebook page, you can see multiple posts from COVID times, March 2020, April 2020, April 2020, August 2020, of police officers shoulder to shoulder with each other in town buildings not wearing masks. It's kind of one of these do as I say, not as I do situations, or rules for thee and not for me. And I appreciate the police not wearing masks. I think that's a personal decision that everyone should be able to partake in. But it seems like you'd have to have a gun on you to stick up for your rights, which these cops do. Speaking of guns, the legislature wants to declare guns a public health crisis, and they just love beating this dead horse, even though the vast majority of gun deaths in America, upwards of 65%, are from suicide, including my own father, and the 80% of the remaining homicides are from gang violence, which are created by government black markets that create through legislation. That's not going to stop the politicians from trying to create laws that impede on law-abiding citizens' rights to keep and bear arms, but they're having these gun buyback programs in Bridgeport to get these weapons of war off the street, and who doesn't want less weapons of war on the street? So I had an idea that we could have a gun buyback program in Manchester, but instead of the guns getting scrapped, we're going to send all of our guns to our allies in Ukraine, where they can be put to good use battling our enemies in a proxy war. So it's a twofer, really. We get the guns off of our streets here, and they could possibly, potentially kill our enemy Russian adversaries in Ukraine. That's a bonus. So my last point is, here's an idea. The Parkade project is 10 years running. It's stalled. And I had a great idea considering that we're going to be going to these, what they call the global food crisis, because, we shut the world down for 2 years and you ban the importation of fertilizer from Russia and all the wheat from Ukraine and everything. You're going to have problems with food. So we could just rip up all this pavement and immediately bring all the composting down from the dump and create a huge town-wide garden, like 8 acres of gardens, rentable plots, right next to the grocery store, center of town, lots of neighborhoods. And we can get a carbon offset because all this asphalt won't be generating all the heat from, it's so hot this spring, I'm burning up. And if we turn this into a town-wide garden, that would be a bonus. So that's my comment for the month. See you next time, and enjoy.
Thank you.